Hey, Justin, how do you kind of handle an unusual week where you plan to play Sunday, but with everything going on in New England, the game could be moved? Just how do you kind of keep your focus there, and then not knowing who could be at quarterback? How do you approach the game from a technical perspective?
Yeah, you just got to prepare. It's hard to do, and but it's happening all around the league. You just got to prepare though, like it was normal. So, we're preparing here like we're playing on Sunday. As of right now, we are, and we're preparing for Cam to be the quarterback, and so we have film and we're watching other things and we're preparing for this, that, and the other. But just as of right now, you just got to be able to prepare for what you're going to expect. And part of being a professional is, handling the unknown, the best possible way that you can. And so that's what we're preparing for. And, just looking forward to it.
Next one, Troy Rank.
Justin, good to see you, my man. We talked to Brandon yesterday, the player rep. He said guys had a lot of questions. Are guys comfortable going to New England? Do you trust the protocols that if you go and travel there, it's safe? And, there's so much that's gone on with these Titans that if games don't get played, players don't get paid. How is it playing in the locker room right now with this first real bump in the road for the NFL?
Yeah. There's obviously talk going on, even amongst, guys on teams, talking with guys on other teams, like, what's the feel around your place, this, that, and the other. But I think you're asking, like, from my perspective, most of the guys that signed up for the season knew that there was going to be some type of a bumpy road along the way, right? And guys that are playing, like, wanted to come out here and want to play, obviously want to get paid to play. And we knew that this would be part of the process. And so a lot of organizations have handled it well. And, a lot of times that has to deal with luck, not necessarily you doing it better than other places. That's just how it goes. And so we just got to be able to stay on top of that, speaking specifically for Denver. And then, talking about going to New England, we just got to trust that in terms of what's happening in New England, like, they're doing what they're doing and we're doing what we need to do. So then when we're playing, we're both getting done what we need to get done so that we can play the game and move on and continue the rest of the season, because we all want to play and we all want to continue to have games to finish out the season. We just got to make sure it's done in the right manner and that guys are going to be as healthy as possible. But, coming into the season, there was always going to be a risk factor into that.
Next one, Zach.
Hey, Justin, against the Jets, the defense brought a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Does that make it easier or harder on the secondary?
It always is dependent on kind of the flow of the game. I think, Sam in that specific game, he's pretty good moving around in the pocket. And so whereas sometimes it would be nice to have more coverage to make him hold the ball longer, to get more sacks. Sometimes it's nice to speed up his decision-making progress and, have tight coverage in the back end, which we know we can do, and, attack him that way too. So it's just, it's really dependent. But we found a way, to close it out. We kind of mixed it up a good bit. Obviously Chubb got going, Malik got going. We got a lot of guys up front that were getting after him pretty good there towards the end of the game. And when it mattered most, those last two series, we got the big stops to help us win.
Next one, Kyle Newman.
Hey, Justin, you guys have been asking a lot of your rookies, not just in the secondary, but overall. How do you think the rookie class is holding up this year so far? And, what's their potential, Cushenberry, Ojimudi, Obasi, et cetera, for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we have asked a lot of them. That's something that you always tell the rookies when they're coming in, whether regardless, obviously, from first round all the way to undrafted. Like, if you make the team, at some point or another, we're going to need you. And it just so happened to be we needed them, a lot of guys earlier, much more than later, talking about down the season with all the injuries that have been going on. And so this is going to help a lot, like not only for our team, but just for the development of them as players. And it's also a lot of onus on the leaders, the rest of the leaders that aren't hurt, that are on the team and we're playing. Like, no one cares that we're playing however many rookies or however many younger guys. The fact of the matter is when we step out on Sunday, it's the Denver Broncos. It would have looked no different in terms of, the team's name if we had all of our starters. And so we have to go out there. We have to find ways to win football games. And, we got to win, whatever, week and a half ago against the Jets. And we got to find a way to go up to New England in a tough environment, even though there's no fans or whatever, but tough environment, find a way to win there too.
Guys, time for a few more. Next one, Nick Kosmeyer.
Yeah, Justin, you've obviously been here since 2017 when Tim Patrick kind of showed up as an undrafted guy, having already been cut a couple times. Been through some up and downs then, had the wrist injury last year. So when he has a moment like he did on Thursday night, kind of a career game, what was sort of the feeling like among teammates for him to have a game like that?
Oh yeah, no, we're nothing but happy for him. It's to be expected. Tim's a guy, like you said, I've been with Tim for a while, and just the way he approaches his work ethic in the building, on the field, after practice, even when we're in training camp, him and the corners are always talking about this, that, the other, leverage, running routes, what harder for you to cover, what's not. Tim is just very particular in the way that he approaches his work. And so it was no shocker, at least for us to see the type of game that he had, against New York. And so I was just happy for him, man. I know we all were happy for him. And, like I said, with injuries, your leaders got to find ways to bring the younger guys along and kind of, get the team going, any spark you can do. And so I'm happy for Tim, man. Obviously, continued success for him because, we'll definitely need it.
Last two, Brandon, then Troy. Go ahead, Brandon.
Since we're asking about your teammates, what did you think when you saw Mike Purcell get that new deal, knowing his journey and to get it with his hometown team on top of that?
Man, I was so happy for Mike, man. I was so happy for him. He, hearing his story, I didn't know much about Mike, obviously, when he got here, and then getting to know him, obviously, over the course of last season and kind of this offseason and even, trickling into the beginning of this season. Hearing his story and seeing how he was playing, I was like, you weren't here the whole time? Like, I don't understand how, you know what I mean? Like, he's just he's literally just himself, like a force up front. And so I was beyond happy for him, man, and his family, getting to know, his wife and his two kids. It couldn't have happened to a better guy, man. So I was so happy for Mike and wishing nothing but continued success for him, in his career, because that story is amazing.
Final one, Troy.
Justin, you guys were able to finish. I saw your emotion in the locker room afterward. The defense kind of able to finish and tie the bow. How much can that confidence help this defense in general and get to that next level where we keep asking you in terms of getting takeaways?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? Is, I kept saying, it doesn't matter. We found a way to win. And I think we were like -3 or whatever, -4 in the turnover battle, which is a huge factor. We talk about it all the time. Takeaways are a huge part of winning football games, setting your offense up for the shorter field, momentum swings. And obviously we lost that battle, but we still found a way to win a game, which I think is a huge confidence boost for our team. Knowing our offense can put up the points, to win a football game like that. And then knowing defensively, like, hey, we weren't even playing, at our best. We didn't get any takeaways, and we still found a way to close out the game when it mattered. And so that's a lot of momentum going in, for the rest of the season. And we got to make sure that we're capitalizing on things like that. And so, like I alluded to, this whole time, guys like, Chubb, myself, Kareem, Mike, Shelby, like, we got to find ways to, to keep finding ways to make us better and to win more games, especially talking just on the defensive side of the football. We just got to find ways to do it, because at the end of the day, no one cares what's happening to you injury-wise. You still got to go out there and you got to play and you got to win football games. So that's what we're looking forward to and excited for Sunday.